so it's very, very ambitious plan. What is the technical parameters?
It was originally a multi-copter concept using a yoga ball as a landing gear.
What is your difference compared to the helicopter?
You don't see any pilot joysticks, you don't see any pilot screens.
I just seen ministers and senators coming and even sitting in this machine, so I mean it's really a success story. Okay, let me introduce Akiko. She is responsible for PR in this very nice new project, Volocity.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you here in Berlin, in ILA Aviation Show. So tell us about this new project you are presenting here.
Okay. Well, Volocopter is an air taxi company. When I say air taxi, it is a shared public mobility that is 100% emission free because it's electric powered. And we will be targeting entry into service by 2024 Paris Olympics.
Okay, so it's very, very ambitious plan.
Yes, it is quite.
So when do you expect to have a certification finished?
So it is, we are working very closely with EASA, the European Governing Authority. They know that we are targeting this date and they are working closely together with us to achieve it. Our plan, or we hope, that the certification will come early 2024 or late 2023 to make that target of entry.
So it means to start for Olympics, it means that you should have already mass production by that time, yes?
The target is to be able to start mass production at the time of 2024.
So how many units you plan to use for Olympic Games?
Well, at that point in time, we will have the capability to produce 50 units per year.
Okay.
But as again mentioned, Paris will be the beginning, so we won't go full on 50 units at the time of the Olympics.
Okay. And so how it would work? It would be kind of a public transport service, or it would be people who would be buying like bicycles, or how you consider it to be?
It would definitely be integrated into the public transport service. That's why we are working with cities like Paris's public transport authorities to integrate it in the best way possible, to learn what is the best route for people to do an intermodal transportation within the city and slightly outside the city.
So, Government of Paris interested in this project, you mean?
Yes.
What is the technical parameters of this? The distance of flying, how frequently you need to charge it, and...
Sure, okay. So this specific model, the two-seater air taxi, it has a range of 35 kilometers.
Okay.
This is sufficient range, for example, to go from a major airport just outside the city into the city center.
Yes.
So.
And how much time you need to charge it? Like you made one trip and then you have to charge for how long?
It's not the time. What we do is actually we have swappable batteries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just replace them?
Yes, exactly. So we will understand once in the air how much of the 9 battery packs we have, which needs more charging than the other charging. But once we land, we will swap them all out and charge them at the vertiport or other facilities that we have on the ground. Therefore, every time a vehicle flies, then it will be the fully charged swapped battery.
Mm-hmm. And how long time it takes to take it off, on and off?
I believe in the long term, looking ahead, 5 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, very quick turnaround.
So just pilot may have a coffee and then technical stuff would replace it.
Yeah.
But in this configuration, it's one professional pilot and just one passenger.
Yes, so at the beginning, we will fly all aircraft with a pilot on board.
And how much luggage you can take with this?
So the total payload is 200 kilograms. So that includes the 2 people and any luggage.
Okay, in aviation we consider one passenger like 85 kilograms. So it means that in fact you cannot even take a big suitcase. So it's not.
We're expecting hand luggage mostly.
Okay, like any other helicopters.
Yeah.
Olympic Games would be really testing,
Yes.
the best testing. If you would have a success story there, I think
Yeah.
it would become really popular.
Yes.
And you are saying that this, for the moment, this is the for 2 passengers, but you have a plan to have more passengers?
Yes, so we just started flying our 4-seater aircraft prototype
Okay.
end of May.
Okay.
This one has a different technical aspect, so it's a fixed wing and rotors. So 6 rotors, fixed wings, 2 electric fans. It has higher cruising speed and a range of 100 kilometers, and we'll seat up to 4.
Okay. And what is the speed of this model?
The cruise speed will be 110 kilometers on this model.
Quite fast.
Yeah.
And the new model, you said it's even faster.
Yes, I believe it's 250
So
kilometers
double
plus,
bigger
yeah.
speed. Yeah. Okay.
But that is the max speed.
Yeah. Sure. And pilots, you need a special education for the pilot, because when I seen it side, it looks like it's like a computer game, and it's you just use Google and it works itself.
So just to explain, this particular model is a static model
Yes.
displaying the autonomous version.
Okay.
That's why you don't see any pilot joysticks, you don't see any pilot screens. However, at the beginning, as I mentioned, it will start with a pilot on board. So the piloted configuration will definitely have the screens and the joysticks and all
But
that.
what about qualification of the pilots? What kind of education you need?
So we are working on that now. We have different partners that we need to discuss what is the best method of training, what types of tools to use, but we are in discussion.
No, but I mean, do you really need high-level professional pilots, or it could be like short courses, and with this level of automation, maybe you don't need really qualified pilots?
So that again is also in discussion, because it is an FAA or EASA.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
they have to give you the rules how to do this.
Yeah, we do believe that it will be slightly simplified than obviously a full helicopter license.
So it would be even easier than helicopter, you believe? Yes, because helicopters it's rather
Quite
complicated. Yeah.
Yeah, so it would be much easier to fly. We just need to discuss how to certify the best way. Yeah.
And when you would be able to disclose this? When you would come to some agreement?
Soon, I would say maybe within a year, but not immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's. If it would be easy, it would really become popular. I mean,
Yeah.
if the more difficult, the less people would be interested to re-educate either existing pilots
Yeah.
or educate new pilots, because it's costs and expenses and so on.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be able to announce this soon, the direction at least, or the roadmap to how to get more pilots on
And
board.
Volocopter, it's a public company or it's private company or state-owned?
Yeah, it's privately funded.
And it's a German privately funded company, yes?
Correct.
And you started just startup, or you had some other aviation? I mean, this company been doing something in aviation, or just started to develop this project?
Oh, it started with this project.
So it's a quite successful startup in this case.
Yes. So it was originally, I don't know if you've seen the video. It was
No.
originally a multi-copter concept using a yoga ball as a landing gear. It does hold the Guinness World Record of the first manned multi-copter
Oh, really?
in 2011.
Okay.
And so our founders had this idea that they wanted to use the conventional drone technology and see how much they could use that for passenger. And that's what they developed, and that's what they achieved a world record in 2011. And then
Okay.
from there, it just became a startup. 2021, beginning of the year, there was about 120 full-time employees. At the end of 2021, we had over 500.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's really very successful startup. One more question. So it's quite seldom you see nice young ladies in the aviation. How you came personally to aviation?
it is an interesting story. So I worked in automotive for a very long time.
So you are, I should say, like the similar success story like Honda Jet, and they started being in automotive and started the production of the jets.
Yeah.
So you also found yourself in automotive and came to aviation.
Exactly. So I've always liked cars. I've always liked any kind of mobility. It is fascinating, and when I saw the Volocopter, the Volocity prototype, I was drawn into it immediately, and I thought, oh, how nice, how interesting if we had a future where a lot of these were flying.
So to make it primitive, so
Yeah.
this is a flying car, in fact. It's a flying taxi.
Flying taxi, yes. Electric taxi.
Okay. And probably your company made some evaluations. Which category of the people you consider to be your clients?
So it depends on the city where you will be flying. There are different types of customers.
Yes.
But we know for sure that people use taxis on a daily basis. It's mostly 1.1 or 1.2 people in one taxi. So
Okay.
yeah,
So it's what you have. Yeah.
Yeah, makes complete sense. We are looking to, maybe at first it's business travelers or VIPs, but eventually travelers and visitors to the mega cities. We hope that they will be using them, because when you're traveling and visiting, you had limited amount of time to get to places where you want, and also the stunning views that you can have from above the city will attract travelers as well.
Okay, but what would be if we are speaking about VIP people traveling? So
Yeah.
it's speaking about Paris, it would be Le Bourget Airport. There all private jets are landing. So what normally person would come to Le Bourget Airport taking a helicopter? What is your difference compared to the helicopter?
So one is obviously it's the quiet aspect. This multi-rotor concept makes it very quiet in flight and in landing, and it doesn't disrupt the city noise. So that is one. Obviously, because it's electric and it's 100% emission-free in flight.
Which is also important, yes.
Yeah, so that is another aspect. And the safety is higher than actually a helicopter.
Okay.
The safety,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the safety is equivalent to a commercial airliner. That's what
Okay.
flying.
But what about landing? Because especially in Paris, you don't have really many places where a helicopter can land. If it requires less, what you discussed with government in Paris, I mean, where would you be able to land in Paris?
Yeah, so we are working on that right now. That's why we have strong partnerships with Parisian government, as well as the public transport system, the RATP group, to figure out the best routes and where to place infrastructure.
So in fact, you are planning to have like a kind of standard routes, probably, yes?
Oh, you mean the infrastructure itself?
Yeah, no, I mean, for example, flying from Le Bourget to Arc de Triomphe, for example. So I
Yes,
mean,
yes,
like something standard, which you agree with the government,
Yeah.
and you make like landing places, yes?
Yes.
And probably in comparison to helicopter, probably you can land, you be able to land in the most of the roofs of the buildings, or what is the total weight of the machine compared to the lightest helicopter?
I'm not an expert in the helicopter weight, but this is the
So total weight
900 kilograms.
kilogram. Yeah, I think it's much smaller than
Yeah.
the helicopter.
Yeah, the footprint is much smaller. Obviously, EASA recently created a guideline for how to create an infrastructure for electric VTOLs. So I think we'll be seeing more and more partners getting involved in the infrastructure side to create something so that VTOLs can land.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Do you already feel this interest or not yet? I mean, partners' interest. I mean, if partners already consider you as a serious player, or it's like dream stories.
No. We're already working very closely with many partners within Paris as well.
Okay, so Paris, what would be the next destinations?
So the first cities that we are committed to launching is Paris, Singapore, and Rome. Now, we don't exactly know what city will start commercially first, but those are the 3 cities that we have
And in
committed
Singapore, you have the local regulation, or?
Yes, CAAS, the Singaporean authority, but they already have a very good connection with EASA.
Okay.
Yeah. So once we receive certification from
EASA, it would not be that difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah? Okay. Interesting, because in Singapore it's probably even more important than in Paris, because in Paris you have some standard helicopter transportation which helps to VIP. Okay, it's interesting. And ILA show been successful for you?
Yes. So we have been meeting, obviously it is a trade show, we have been meeting many of our current partners, potential partners. We've been able to meet with regulatory staff, the government, and so it has
I just seen ministers and senators coming and even sitting in this machine. So I mean, it's really a success story. It's really a pleasure to meet you here. It's really exciting. When in the regular life you don't see that projects and you don't really understand how far you developed already. So it's really impressive that one day we would see these birds flying.
Yes, it will be closer in the future than you believe. Yes.
Thank you very much. It was really a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for so nice story.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.